Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving deep into a game engine that wants to completely change the way we think about tabletop combat. We're talking about turning those slow, sluggish encounters into something fast, cinematic, and really fun. Let's get into the MDM combat engine.
Look, if you've ever played a tabletop RPG, you know the drill. The story is hitting its peak, the atmosphere is electric, and then someone says, roll for initiative. And just like that, the epic narrative grinds to a halt. All of a sudden, you're doing math and just waiting. It's a momentum killer, right? A single fight can eat up the entire night. So what's the big problem here? Well, it's this traditional linear turn structure. I call it a stop-and-go system. You roll initiative, you wait. It's finally your turn, you roll to hit. You wait for the result. Okay, you hit. Now you roll for damage. Every single action is a separate step that requires permission, and it creates this huge bottleneck. Honestly, it's exhausting for everybody at the table.
So how do you fix that? Well, the MDM system flips the script with a philosophy it calls story physics. The whole idea is to stop trying to simulate every little thing and instead create a high-speed engine that actually drives the story forward. The rules should feel as natural as the story you're telling. And the secret sauce is this concept called parallel processing. Now, think about your computer's processor for a second. It doesn't just do one thing at a time, right? It handles tons of calculations at once. That's exactly what this system does. A single input resolves a whole bunch of data points, turn order, if you hit, how much damage you do, all at the same time. It's like a simple but really powerful state machine. You give it one number, and it instantly knows the entire state of your turn. So how does it pull this off? It all comes down to one single, beautiful mechanic, the attack initiative. This one roll, just two 20-sided dice plus any bonuses, is the key that unlocks absolutely everything else in the combat round. Okay, let's really get into this, because this is where it gets incredibly cool. We're about to see how one single number, from that one simple roll, can fuel an entire round of combat without ever hitting the brakes.
So, picture this. You're in the thick of a fight. You make your attack initiative roll, and you get a 33. Now, in most games, that would just tell you when you get to go. Pretty boring. But in this system, that number is your destiny. Just look at what that 33 instantly unlocks through what the game calls the combat matrix. It's not just your initiative. It also tells you that you automatically pass your saving throws. You can make up to 3 attacks, you get a reaction, and hey, you even get to use a powerful signature move. This thing resolves over 10 different data points, from where you hit the enemy to how much damage you deal, all in a split second. That's the state machine at work. Every possible roll has a pre-calculated outcome, so you never have to stop and do math.
And that's the whole point, isn't it? The system front-loads all the number crunching into that one initial roll. It handles all the complicated stuff for you, freeing up your brain power to stay in character and describe what your hero is actually doing. You get to focus on the story, not the spreadsheet.
Okay, so you have this packet of instant results from your roll, but how does the round actually play out? Well, this is where 2 other really smart ideas come into play: the countdown initiative and a little something called the OODA loop.
So instead of going around the table one by one, the Dungeon Master just finds the highest roll and starts counting down from there. This little change creates this amazing sense of urgency and constant movement. The DM just calls out 33, and anybody, whether it's a player or an enemy who rolled a 33, goes right now. You already know everything you can do, so you just jump in and narrate your awesome move. Then the DM calls out 25. The next group acts. But here's the brilliant part. You can use reactions at any time. So even if your turn is way down at 18, you might use your reaction to block an attack that happens on 25. This means nobody is ever just sitting around waiting. You are always engaged, always in the fight.
And as the count keeps going, 18. What you get is this incredible, fast-paced dance of combat. The game calls it a lethal ballet, and that's exactly what it feels like. A constant flow of action and reaction, not just a series of disconnected turns. So, when your number gets called, how do you figure out what to do? The game uses a simple 4-step cycle called the OODA loop. It stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. It was actually developed to help fighter pilots make snap decisions, and it gives you a super intuitive framework for keeping the action moving.
Now here's why this is so clever. The system splits the mental workload perfectly. The DM's job is to observe the battlefield and orient the players with what's going on, and that frees up the players to do what they do best, decide on a cool plan, and act it out. It takes so much pressure off the DM and empowers the players to be the stars of the show.
All right, so the system is fast, it's efficient, it keeps everyone glued to the action. But what is the real bottom-line payoff for your game night? Why should you care about all this?
Well, this is why. By swapping out that slow, linear process for a parallel combat matrix, you can take a combat encounter that used to be a 60-minute slog and turn it into a 15-minute blast of cinematic action. That means more story, more encounters, and just plain more fun in every single session.
I mean, the benefits here are just undeniable. The gameplay is ridiculously faster. The mental drain on everyone is way, way lower. Players are always engaged because there's literally no downtime. And because you know the results of your role before you narrate, you become what the game calls a narrative architect, free to describe your own awesome success. This elegant design is so streamlined that it's super accessible for new players and, get this, even for an AI to understand.
When you boil it all down, all of this smart design, the parallel processing, the matrix, the countdown, it's all working towards one simple, beautiful goal: to finally create a game that moves at the speed of your own imagination.
And this isn't just about cold, hard efficiency. As the designers themselves put it, when you know the outcome of your action beforehand, it just unleashes your creativity. It leads to more comedy, more wild moments, and way more of those unforgettable shenanigans that we all play these games for in the first place.
So, I guess that just leaves us with one final question to think about. What kind of incredible stories could you tell if the rules never, ever got in your way?